streaming. And when that happens, you'll keep an eye on this up here where it says offline. And then once your stream starts going through, it's going to
Five seconds remaining. PSG.LGD's turn to ban.
Rubik's good against Weaver too, though. You give him an extra.
Yeah, that's true.
An extra.
Yeah, very strong now with like the 70 damage level 1.
In my mind, Ember should not stand a chance against Conker until he gets a couple of levels. Counterpick the bat in the lane.
Jeez, they might even think about Jug, I guess. I mean, I know they just banned.
We would take advantage of the fact that this is the final game. The players cannot hear what we are talking about out here, so we thought we would ask the coaches to tell us what they can about what we can expect from their teams. Tell us everything you got.
Well, you should expect magic, because this is what we did so far, right? The only thing that we were thinking about is if we pick Lina or Zeus in the end, and we had a little struggle there, because it's like you need to be a top song hero that is like comfortable. Lina has like disabled, Zeus is kind of bad against Kanka because you get caught, you know, we don't have a proper save, and we want Zeus more because it has more value against the Terrorblade. So, I mean, everyone is happy with the draft, so we're gonna go along with it.
357, same question. Helen is helping us translate as well. What can you tell us about your strategy for this final game?
这是第5盘了，选手听不到我们现在说的话，我们想听你最真实的想法。这第5把怎么样？
我觉得就是这个宙斯这个点，如果能处理好就还好吧。宙斯这个点蛮克 TB 的。
If we can take off the Zeus, then we're all good because Zeus is a counter against Terrorblade.
Confidence level?
自信心满吗？自信心满度。
很有自信，可以的。
Very confident, we can do it.
Confidence level?
Over 9,000.
All right, casters, this is your grand final.
Thank you very much, KC. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Game 5 of the TIA Grand Finals between PSG.LGD and OG. And it all starts right here. Boys, what do we reckon about this final draft from both teams that we're going to see in this Game 5?
I'm still resetting. I'm still resetting, honestly.
Oh man, Game 4. Whew, what a game. But here in this Game 5, yeah, we have the Zeus versus Terrorblade, first place Terrorblade. Not really vulnerable to that many picks, but as Professor was talking about, yeah, Zeus and Lina, one of the best. I don't think Thompson's Lina's been particularly fantastic, but Zeus the other day was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, in particular, just a lot of ults. Of course, if they can get if they can make the Magnus go. That's the big thing I'm looking for, OG. Can they actually enable this Magnus? Can he enable their corners as well? And how much can they make happen in this bottom lane?
Dude, Seb has been spamming that hero.
He has been.
Plays Magnus nonstop, and his team is really good about capitalizing on his RPs. Normally, there's like, you know, that 1 second delay. It's like, oh, he RP'd, but I think with Seb on the Magnus, they know when it's going to happen.
This game is, this tough lane should be extremely difficult for OG. This Batrider, unless he gets really pressured by the early treants, should be able to have a really good time versus Ember and Nature's Prophet. He just run them down with a fissure if he gets some stacks up. Mid matchup, I think Somnus should be able to have a fine time, and they can even have a kill threat on rotations. But Thompson also shouldn't get killed by himself by any means as a Zeus.
No, we should expect to see Thompson have a much better time against Somnus' compared to when he was playing his Invoke.
Absolutely.
I think this game, the team fight is very even on both sides. So you have the Magnus on one side, you have the Silencer to counter it, you have the Bat Rider, but he's only single target relative to a huge amount of AoE damage coming out from OG. So I think these lineups are fairly equal.
Yeah, the thing I like about OG's draft is they have, the one thing I always look at when you're playing versus a Silencer is a way to get vision of where that Silencer is in the team fight. So they've got the Zeus ability to do that, and then they can pierce the backlines with an Ember Spirit to get on top of it. So that can be pretty nice for them. But as for LGD, they do have a lot of ways of initiating fights. They have their Kunkka to start it, and then they have the follow-up with Global, Bat Rider, and Earthshaker. It's a lot of ways to actually initiate and counter-initiate.
I think Kunkka has also been maybe's best hero this tournament. He's just been destroying on that. And it is a pretty easy lane for Zeus, but actually even in CS.
Yeah, I think his Kunkka and his Storm for me have been unbelievable. We'll probably see the similar build that he's been doing on that Kunkka. Maybe not double bracer, but at least one of those bracers, and this time he's gonna go for like the magic wand. Jarex, heavy harass. We'll be
And a lot of potential for X-Nova this game to have a huge impact. We've seen from the Silencers through and through this competition so many times these sort of big team fights put to a halt. You've got to be careful if you're this Ember or if you are, of course, Seb on the Magnus in terms of holding onto the RP in top lane. Bit of a block off here onto Ana. He's got the stick charges. He does have 3 stacks of sticky napalm upon him as Chalice diving in. Gets that first blood. Tanks up a bit of the tower, but he's able to get his way out of it. It's PSG.LGD. Out to a strong start in this top lane.
Yeah, a little bit of risky move by Noto. He TP'd, but he didn't TP back home. He TP'd and pulled away. And Ana was just let out there by his lonesome.
They have to go for those type of kills constantly in the top lane. Because Bat Rider, you don't really last hit that great in the laning phase. You're just gonna get your last hits through your Firefly once you're able to do some stacks and whatnot. So they have to play very aggressive up clear whenever they see an opportunity if Ana steps up too far. Bottom lane going very well for Seb is doing a great job with that Empower. They're really messing with Ame's last hits with the Fade Bolt as well. You see he's got that massively reduced damage. He's sitting at 40 compared to Seb's 80. So just making it that much easier for the Magnus to put the pressure onto Ame.
Yeah, the Quelling Blade can only do so much for him. And next Nova, I mean, he doesn't have any points of plays with Wisdom, and he can't really harass Seb. Magnus is actually surprisingly tanky in lane. Really hard to harass out.
Ame's going to use the Metamorphosis to try and catch up in the CS. Get a bit of harass onto Jarex and Seb if possible. And try and close that gap between himself and Seb as you talk about Seb with that lead. Second highest in CS level with his Ember Spirit at the moment.
This is not an easy Magnus game, by the way. As soon as he jumps in, he can get lifted, or he can get lassoed, he can get fissured, he can get echoed. There's so many counterplays, especially Global Silence. So I wouldn't feel super comfortable as a Magnus here. You really want someone else to jump in, like the Ember.
Tops steps up a bit far in the mid lane. FY as well as Somnus, they're catching on him. There's boots on that
They
shaker.
should have the catch here with the fish up into the X-Mark Torrent combo. They've caught Thompson. Will he die to the Ancients? He won't. Somnus gets the hit in. Tidebringer, he has the damage to claim the second kill here for PSG.LGD.
FY has been doing a really good job controlling both the runes. 2-minute rune, he got the haste, 4-minute rune. Make sure that Zeus can't get it. He did rush a bottle and won't be able to get that regeneration rune that is generally a lane rune for the Zeus.
Now FY's got it, so he can even keep his pressure on this map at the moment. He's getting close to Arcane Boots. Shaker. It's Jarex in some trouble here.
Fisher block not quite successful, but it doesn't look like it may matter with the damage coming out between the two of them. Slow from the curses.
Still
in he goes. FY one more slam with the totem.
Full mana.
They're trying to go around maybe and try and get a kill on Chalice up here, but it doesn't matter if the Shaker's there or not. They can't get the kill.
Bounty runes. So they're going to be the ones to claim 3.
Top lane, a bit of a dive going on to Ana. He's got 5 stacks at the moment on him. No tail will TP, and Chalice is tanking quite a bit of the tower. Stick charges are there from Ana.
He's living.
As Ana will be fine there. I don't think, by the looks of it, Chalice checked the stick charges on Ana as he was A-okay. Mid lane at the same time, Thompson getting gone on. FY's there with the combo. Helping out Somnus secure that kill onto the Zeus.
You kind of expect this from Zeus. Just because he's dying doesn't mean the lane's going poorly. It's actually kind of expected, I would say. But really, he'll just contribute later on in the team fights. He's not quite level 6 yet.
I mean, that one death that he did have it does start to hurt you because you get that level disadvantage.
FY again.
FY making those moves all over the place.
Absolutely setting up for another kill here as they chase down Jerax. More +2 for the Silencer. Top lane as well. Chalice runs down Ana. It's 6-1. The kills starting to really build up in this first 6 minutes of gameplay from PSG.LGD.
They don't have a real good way to protect their Ember Spirit in that top lane. If anything, they need the Rubik there to help him to pull that aggressiveness that's coming out from Chalice off of him.
And they're not slowing down this Earthshaker's farm at all. He has 500 gold and arcane boots. If he gets an early blink, I mean, I'm really scared for OG.
Yep.
Now Seb.
Seb is in a lot of trouble here too.
He is. They're coming looking for him in the trees. FY's there, ready for him. Waiting for him.
He was right on top of him. Oh, man.
3-0-3 on this Earthshaker already at the 6.5 minute mark.
The power of the Shaker, we've seen it not only in this finals, but throughout the whole tournament. FY, one of, if not the best Shaker in the game at the moment. And he's certainly showing it here in the game where it all counts the most. Trying to set up, buying time for No-Tail to come through. Somnus does get the bow tap, but he's already dead. Thunder God's Wrath from Thompson will burst him down. They did send 4 heroes in for this one though, OG. Seb also joining in the middle lane.
They get the Kunkka kill, which is great, but now Ahmed's just got an open lane to himself. Now there's no pressure being put on this Tower Blade at all. Actually recovered really well. 36 and 14 last hits.
Yep, and they expended Zeus ult too, so not too much kill potential on the side lanes. They still have that double combo though from the Wrath of Nature.
In range there to dispel the smoke straight up. Jerax.
Jerax is pulling an X-Nova right now, right? Just smoking through with just putting down some words, getting ready for the next movements that are coming out.
And again, Somnus having a very scary start to this game. He's top on the CS. Saw what he was able to do with a good opening on his Kunkka earlier in this series. And so far, he's on the right track to offering a repeat performance.
Zeus also has to be careful, not only the global, but the curse. The curse really hurts Zeus.
It's true.
Especially because it's been buffed so many times.
Ana, level 6 here, has a Remnant.
A little harder for Chalice to find those kills now. Does have that lasso up. Has No-Tail. He's been found out. He'll pop the Sprout down, but it'll be cut through by Somnus.
Blinks, that tower is going to make it that much easier.
Top lane Chalice playing around with that. He's holding on to Lasso for now. Now he'll pop it, feeling that he's got the damage to do the kill. And Ana. Stick charge back up, able to get away mid lane. Seb comes in with a rotation, pops the RP down onto Somnus. They've got the burst. The setup's there. Takes 4 of them, but it does get them the kill on Somnus. And with sort of how beefy he was, it did look like they did need all 4 to get that kill.
I think Somnus did spend his gold before he died, or pretty close to all of it. He
Almost.
Space boost. Yeah.
I mean, those kills start to add up. No, they have to commit 4 heroes, but it's time off the map, right? That's where 10 more seconds where the Kunkka's not there to be threatening kills all over the place, and Thompson gets a little bit of a break on the Zeus to not have to worry about dying.
And they're focusing on him because they know they can deal with the Terror Blade with the Zeus later if it gets to that point of the game. So if they had to choose in between these 2 cores, it's definitely going to be the Kunkka.
Jerax.
FY goes for the setup. The Fisher into the combo. Torrent will be dodged. No-Tail's actually going to TP in for this one as Somnus beats down onto Jerax. Jerax able to get himself away. No, he's not! The Tidebringer from Somnus finds the kill. FY walks in for the Echo Slam. The silence is there on Seb. Seb's coming to the fight, but he's instantly going to get sent out with a slap as FY chunks him down with the Enchant Totem. As No-Tail also in trouble. Chalice diving on forward. Kill after kill. Ana, can he do anything in return? He comes in with the slide. The Remnant as well, looking for X-Nova and Somnus. He can't quite finish it off, and Arme, he's turned up, and he'll be able to take down Ana.
What a collapse by LGD. Even how does Ahmed show up there?
12-3 now, and a 3K lead very early on for PSG.LGD.
Look at this item goal coming out from Chalice too. I thought he was going for a blink dagger, but it looks like he has Atos queued up and keeps switching it up, but Atos to deal with the Ember?
Yeah, that could be pretty cool.
That's going to be pretty nasty. I mean, that's so much disable versus him. I think this is only because FY's having such a great game. They can rely on him to initiate the fights.
He's so close to the blink dagger.
And then Chalice, it makes him incredibly tanky on this Bat Rider. If he just charges in and you get a fissure, the follow-up afterwards, because FY's going to have that blink so early on. Can definitely be an interesting approach here to just catch out all the time.
Jerax shows himself mid, but they've got the catch ready to deal with him. X-Mark into the combo. Jerax, another casualty here in the middle lane for OG. It's PSG.LGD. They want to finish off this tower. TPs are coming in. Seb, and you have the damage here to help bring this man down. He'll pop the RP. He's not messing around. The torrent comes out. Chalice will still fall though. OG get the kill. Again, cost them a lot. They keep that tier 1 alive. They can look for the deny.
Yeah, they can secure the deny, which is beneficial from here. But as all this is happening, Ame is not getting pressured, and FY pretty much has that blink dagger, but they do at least have the Zeus to counteract that update.
This is a scarily quick blink dagger here for FY. We've already seen what he can do. He's 4-0-6 at the moment at 11 minutes in on his shaker.
With arcane boots, this has to be one of the fastest blinks I've ever seen.
In game 5 of the grand finals nonetheless as well.
4-0-6 already.
Yeah. And he's ahead of Seb. Seb also going for the same build, the arcane boots into the blink dagger, but he's going to be a few minutes behind. And I don't see any smoke on the side of LGD, but let's see where they...
Wow.
12-minute blink arcanes on FY.
Nahaz is probably losing it back there.
Echo Slam back up in a couple of seconds as well as he'll look to set up top at the moment. No one up there on OG.
He can look to set up pretty easily now for Ana all over the place. Ana is very easily killable with +1 with that Earthshaker. And they even have the global on top of that if they need to commit even more, so.
Radiant's bottom.
They need more time on OG. I think you really need, like, max levels of power, blink on your heroes, Nimbus Cloud on Zeus before your team fight really starts to become a little bit scary. Right now, with no PKPs out on the field, global silence is king.
Yeah, I mean they need to have a lot coming up in their 3 cores, right? Because Rubik and Nature's Prophet, they're not going to be able to contribute too much into the team fights versus what LGD has.
Especially when Jerax has 0 points up in null field right now. He went for the 4 Fate Bolt build. So team fights not really OG strong suit. So they will be very content to trade towers. I think this definitely benefits OG at this point, especially when Seb is still farming about 700 gold away from Blink.
Is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower.
Seb once again with a rotation towards the middle lane, has RP available.
How early do you think Ame needs to BKB this game?
I was wondering if he wants to really be involved in all the fights with this team. That's what I'm thinking here. He might just go for it as the next item though.
Can he rely on the rum?
I don't think so. I don't think it's a good idea. It takes time for it to pass through you, right? So it's like...
But your Shaker, you have Global Silence, you have Shaker Blink. I think it might be a risk worth taking. I mean, Ame, he's not the safest of carry players. As we saw last game, he went to Fusel before BKB very early on. So he has nothing in his quick buy yet, but just want to get a feel for his BKB timing.
Yeah.
This top. They go. Global. They dive. Global to set up the jump in from FY. As Ana caught out underneath the tier 2 tower. Maybe they can get more as well as Chalice hides onto Jerax. TP will come in from No-Tail, but Chalice commits with the lasso, dragging No-Tail away into the clutches of the rest of LGD as they'll surround him and find a second kill for Ame.
And next up, just quietly sneaking by. He's like, yeah, give me all that int, 12 int already for him. Just sitting in the back, staying alive. That's what his job is.
And look at the change build coming out from maybe in this game. Not going for that Shadow Blade, actually just building a hood for his team. Well, for himself at least, for now. If he doesn't want to upgrade it, I don't know if he will, but...
I think in the other games, they had BKB early, they won the team fights, and then late game, they actually got punished, I would say, for buying BKB so early. This game, switching around a little bit, and the Atos is already out for the Bad Rider, so that's another threat that the Ember Spirit needs to worry about. Normally, he's like, okay, Shaker, yeah, he has a blink, and there's Global Silence, but I should be okay most of the time. Now there's 3 heroes that can kill him.
Yep. And Ame is going for the greedy build, like you were mentioning. He is going to go for that Yasha, since he has all those different forms of protection from his teammates.
A decent amount ahead as well. 15 minutes, 5k advantage. PSG.LGD hitting all these timings, and on top of that hood, he's already 1200 towards the Shadow Blade Somnus.
In that mid lane.
They'll look for the setup, straight from the torrent. They get the connection into the boat, but the Sleight of Fist actually going to be able to come out in time. It may not...
During all this, though, the warding
there's the blink coming out from Seb. Has it been scattered out? No, the Zerber ward's on the low ground. They don't see this coming at all.
Let's see if Seb can get a big jump. Chalice and FY rather close to one another at the moment as they hide behind that tower. Seb.
Look at FY's position, though. He is so deep in the tree. Perfect place.
And they go. But Chalice, the change we're catching the root. It's going to be down onto the Ember Spirit. Fisher as well onto Seb. You know that he's got that blink. The urn's down on him as well as the curse. Seb's got to skewer himself away. He cannot blink in.
That's not the way you want your blink dagger to go, though.
He's trying to TP away. Is he going to get out? He is. No, he's not. He ticks down and back. place as they'll find themselves Jerax as well. Global silence being used as they'll chase down the Rubik. Two more kills for LGD. Thompson found in the river.
That was just perfect position coming up from FY over there. He was ready. Even if he had the RP, I don't think he would have been able to get the skewer off.
They are absolutely crushing this opening PSG.LGD.
They're feeling very confident because they're looking and they're like, there's a Rubik and an H-Prop on the team. The team fights are 100% in their favor. It's all going to be up to Seb if he can land those big RPs, but it's so hard, especially with all these wards. LGD always having vision in every situation before OG's even spinning. That was OG's best chance because it was not spotted.
And Zeus, normally he's pretty safe to go around D1, but not this game. He built a defensive item first on the Yules.
Look at this.
So his offensive power, normally you have like Aether Lens fail at this point in the game. His team fight potential is simply not that great.
It's under attack.
So what do OG need to do? How do they win the team fights? How do they solve this game out? How do they wait for Empower, Ember Spirit to kind of take over the game?
I think they have to be able to play around the global. They can't just be waiting every single time for LGD to have every single ulti available. They have to be able to use, I think they have to be pushing lanes out a lot harder as well, even risking some lives from each other to try to set up these gank plays. Because if they just wait for RP in every single fight, there's no way they're ever going to be able to outpace LGD. Because they're just going to have more team fight in the occasions when RP is on cooldown.
Bottom lane. They're looking for the Terrorblade. TP's coming in. Can they kill him in time? Arme quick with the turn and the Sunder. He's back up to full. As now Ana rooted down with the Rotovator. He gets the Sleight of Fist off. They do have the control onto Arme. Can they kill him in time? Arme will fall. But so will Ana shortly. He's got the Flame Guard giving him some resistance, but he'll still go down. Thompson using himself up into the air. OG, they found two so far, but Thompson's brought back into the boat from Somnus. They'll get themselves a third. They'll look to No-Tail as No-Tail fishes to the face from FY. As again, PSG.LGD just coming out on top of these trades. OG tried to get aggressive onto Arme, but the backup's there in time from LGD as they'll take the favorable trade, 4-2.
I do think that's what OG needs to be doing, though. They need to be trying to take these fights, even if they're a little over-aggressive and all. They can't just allow LGD to wait and wait for their ultis to come up every single time, because now they've got Global and the Earthshaker ulti as well, which makes the fights just impossible for OG.
No hesitation there from Arme, as you saw, with a quick Sunder. Thompson able to get a decent amount of burst out, but it's just as soon as Somnus turns up the fight, he hits a huge tie-bring, I believe, onto 3 of them there.
They didn't have the Magnus during all this, though. You see Seb is trying to come into the fight, but they've already been outnumbered because of the position where they're in.
It's very typical for this Magnus. It looks like he wants to build a Greaves to deal with the global silence, but that means he's not going to have Shadow Blade. If they find it, they're instantly going to kill him. They're going to blow everything they can on Magnus. Without RP, they do not win the fight. Maybe they can steal. I mean, there's actually no huge spells to steal. You're not going to be able to steal global silence at this point. Echo is, I don't know, so-so on a Rupit without Blink Dagger. So.
It's like Fissure yeah. In any of the, maybe the Kunkka-Boat. The Kunkka-Boat's also pretty significant if you can get it off, but.
Oh yeah, Kunkka-Boat is huge, but I don't think anything compares to the RP.
Yeah.
Bottom lane. EPL won't make it! The Sleight of Fist! The Shades! Ana catches out the Shaker! Can he TP back in time before the curse kills him? Yes, he can!
Well, that's exactly what we talked about, the stolen boat. The one buff on Ana just pushed them over the edge for the fight.
Literally at the perfect time too. The boat comes through as FY goes in, so that damage reduction comes into play immediately. That was huge.
What a fight for them to take there. You saw FY jumping in with a slam. If they'd have lost that fight, OG, it could have been just a little too much. 20 minutes in, they were falling into place for OG to be able to take that team fight. But still,
I don't think Ame was involved in that fight, though. So, you know, LGD doing their typical 45. Sometimes it was maybe on the Alchemist assignment with Ame on the Terrorblade, and he is looking to get involved very soon, about 300 gold away from his BKB. And I think that fight, also, they singled out the Silencer Barrier a lot, making him blow global, and then after that, going with the RP.
Yeah. I think also it's like Ame didn't have meta available. If he has meta, sometimes he does show up for the fights before the BKB, but now he's got both available, so this is go time for LGD. Even if they... How long's their Echo? So Echo and Global are going to be ready to make the fight happen.
They're smoking, but Chalice does not have his Blink Dagger. He has to go all the way back, so he's way further behind than the rest of his team.
So they can get the catch onto Ana. Fisher, jump forward from FY. They've got the chains done. Is there any way they can play his way out? The Global's coming through. The mech will be popped here. Xana's up into the air. Chalice looks around him, but he gets the slide out. Could he get over to the Remnant as well? No. There's the jump, the RP. They'll get the kill onto Ana. Seb tries to skewer the two of them to the side, but now he's stuck on his own on the low ground. Arme's there on the high ground. Pops the BKB. No messing around for this Terrorblade. As Arme will help take a second here for LGD.
That split was so good. Seb was just waiting for that RP, but he was only able to get one. He thought that they would all clump up around the Ember Spirit.
as they'll look to capitalize on this metamorphosis as much as possible. Straight into the pit they go.
Man, I'm really loving this Atos on the Batrider too. It's just making Ana's life that much more difficult in these fights. He's just having to use the slight to try to buy some time while he's inside that Atos, but then he comes back still controlled.
Well, OG may be looking to fight. There is no Remnant out on the Ember Spear.
You get X-Nova on the side of an FY. He jumps in with the Echo Slam. Jarrett's going to be there with the telekinesis, but already they've lost No Tail. And the X-Mark, it's there onto Thompson, who yules himself up. He will be able to keep himself away. Somnus is hunting though. The Thunder God's Wrath comes through. They'll see Somnus. LGD straight back towards the pit. Oh, FY. He's losing that fight. The Roshan will smoke his way out.
They need a shrine really fast. Ana going to see this Roshan.
That's coming out from the two of them. OG, they've got the double kill for Ana. They're pushing LGD away from this pit. X-Nova does not have buyback. Roshan still stands.
Only 12 seconds left for Global. LGD kind of need to reset, but the Roach is so low.
They have nearly got RP back up on Seb. That's both teams ready to fight around the pit. Seb, can he find a chance for the RP? Chalice on the high ground. They're going to head into the pit. They're surrounding him in the pit. Somnus, he'll go down as well. The buyback from Ana, securing the fight here for OG. There's only X-Nova left alive, but not for long. They chase him.
On the high ground too, they were able to see whatever approach that FY wanted to take to get into doing. So he was getting controlled on the Shaker.
Ember's getting a lot of items out. He fought back, but I think he definitely came out on top there. And keep in mind, this is amplified by that power.
If he's able to get that Lincoln C, he's going to be so much safer. This Yules pickup has saved him time and time again in these fights. With that Lincoln C, he has a lot more liberty.
I think they need a BKB on this Batrider too. He went for the Atos, which slows down his Blink Dagger, and